Hi there, welcome to the Perfume Experience. My name is Rodney, and today we are reviewing a house called as Fragrance Hub Kannauj, and I have a discovery set from them. And let's get to these fragrances right after this introduction. So welcome back. So Fragrance Hub Kannauj is a fragrance house that's based out of Kannauj, and Kannauj, if you know, is a very popular place for making perfume oils in India. They make a lot of extraction of natural oils and all of that. So this particular house is based from there, and they have this beautiful discovery set that you can look at. You know, it's a very nice packing as well. Very well done box of a discovery set, and you have this full top box that kind of opens up like this to give you an exposure of 5 fragrances that have been kept inside. These are basically 8 ml fragrances, and we're going to review all of them very quickly and get to understand if they're worth. So let's get started. So in this particular box, there are 5 fragrances. Like I said, they are basically Shalimar, Red Secret, you have Mount Berg, you have Blue Dream, and you have Green Wave. And the colors will kind of also give you an indication to say what kind of fragrances they are. So let's talk about Blue Dream. So Blue Dream is for me more of a fresh, floral, warm, spicy, that kind of fragrance, which has got a little bit of green notes to it and a lot of aquatic notes to it as well. So but for me, when I kind of smell it on, when I tried this on, I kind of get a lot of blue fragrance vibes. It's a nice a little bit of the David of Cool Water, a little bit of Blue de Chanel vibe that you kind of get with that herbaceous notes as well, and it's kind of got lavender as well. But then the most prominent notes on this is a very aquatic marine blue fougere kind of a note with a little bit of green vibes to it. But it's a nice scent profile, especially if somebody is looking to try a blue fragrance, then you can definitely consider this. For me, this particular one is moderate in projection, and when I say moderate, you get about 1 to 2 feet in projection, and even in terms of lasting, this is about 2 to 3 hours or 3 to 4 hours roughly, depending on the kind of environment and number of space that you go. But in terms of a scent profile, it is a very prominent, fresh, like a little bit of that citrus notes. It's got a little bit of that fruity notes to it, and most prominently you'll get that nice salt water, sea water, that kind of an aquatic vibe, and it's a pretty nice blue fragrance that way. So this is basically Blue Dream, pretty nice if you're looking at a blue fragrance. Okay, the next one we'll talk about Green Wave. Now Green Wave again is a fresh floral fragrance. Again, this also has got a little bit of aquatic notes to it. It's also got a little bit of green notes to it as well, and a little bit of musk. Now for me, the musk element is very nicely done here. It's a little at the bottom as well, but on the top you kind of get a very nice citrusy opening. Okay, and after a few minutes, like after 20 minutes time, the dry down changes in this particular one, and the dry down after that is really nice. You get a very nice musky dry down, which is lasting, and it's a little sweet as well. So very beautifully done that way. It continues for some time. So about 15-20 minutes time, you get a very sharp opening of bergamot, lime, that kind of note, and then there is a different tone, which is the musky element, and the musky element is really nice. Again, on this particular one, the projection is about 2 feet roughly, and about for the first 35-40 minutes it kind of projects. Performance is again moderate at about 3 to 4 hours time. If you're looking for a fragrance which has got a little bit of a citrus note, and then in the dry down it's got a little bit of musky element, this is a good one or a decent one to consider. This is basically Green Wave. The next one to consider on this particular catalog of fragrances is called Mount Berg. Now this is more in saffron and orange in color. This has basically got saffron, woody, citrus, a little bit of oud and lime. Now this particular fragrance also opens pretty nicely. In fact, the opening of this is a lot vetiver-ish kind of thing. You get that vetiver vibe right at the top, and along with that little bit of saffron. For me, this is more of a vetiver, woody fragrance than more of saffron, because for me, I don't get that sweet note of saffron. I get that woody fragrance. I get a little bit of that oud note right at the bottom. But for me, mostly this is an out and out oud and this is an out and out vetiver and woody note kind of a scent profile. And this again has got a very soft projection, about 2 feet. But this lasts a little longer than the other two. This lasts at least about 4 hours easy. But in terms of a scent profile, this is okay if you like vetiver based fragrances with a bit of woody tones to it. You can consider this. The saffron note for me, I feel like I said, it's not very prominent. Having said this, there are 2 really good fragrances in this particular list, and these are, I've kept them right at the end. One is called Red Secret. Now this particular one is really nicely done. Now Red Secret has got saffron again, it's got cinnamon, it's got musk and all of those elements, but this one is really nicely capturing and it reminds you of something that you've smelled, but I just can't get my head around what it is. But the scent profile on this one is really nice. Now this is a sweet, it will give you that texture of a jammy rose, but probably that's because of the saffron along with the cinnamon and vanilla. And the dry down is also very nice on it, and it's a very beautiful scent. In fact, it is a very alluring linear. It starts with a linear note, but then it starts moving towards a nice vanilla base after some time. It's got a little bit of musk as well. It's a soft musk kind of a thing. This is really nicely done. Okay, so this particular one is pretty good in terms of its projection also and lasting. This one will last you about 4 hours plus easy, and lasting is about 1 to 2 feet. Okay, so Red Secret is nice and it's a very well done fragrance compared to all of these fragrances. When I consider, I felt Red Secret was very well done because of that saffron, cinnamon and vanilla. It's mixed for a really nice, sweet, beautiful kind of a fragrance, right? Now the highlight of this particular house was this particular fragrance called Shalimar. Now Shalimar basically has got amazing notes, which is like basically light oud. It's got chocolatey, it's got a little bit of caramel, it's got a little bit of melon, it's got sandalwood. For me, this was an absolute gem because I think of all the 5 fragrances that I think which are here, Red Secret is really good and this is a gem. Okay, now the reason why I say this is the amazing scent profile of this one. Okay, so I've tried it like a couple of times since yesterday and even today morning, and it lasts also really long, but the scent profile is absolutely alluring types. Now this particular fragrance right at the top, it opens with like a lot of floral hints and it's got a beautiful chocolate base right at there, and then it's got a little bit of that sandalwood. Okay, now after the first 20-25 minutes time, when the floral notes kind of evaporate a little bit, and then when the sandalwood starts to come in and the chocolate starts to come in, the dry down is just fabulous. It's one of those beautiful dry down fragrances that I'm surprised that a house like this has been able to create at such price point. So Shalimar is definitely a winner, and this one lasts easy 5-6 hours. Okay, so projection also I would say about 2 to 3 feet. So I'm saying this in terms of 5-6 hours based on my testing and my environment condition, but I'm guessing it can last longer depending on more colder places. This is definitely an evening wear. Now when you think about blue, when you think about green, and even when you think about amber, all of these are day wear fragrances in my opinion, and Red Secret and Shalimar is definitely evening wear, and this is a highlight, and this is just phenomenal in the way it kind of opens up, and you can kind of feel the quality of concentration that they've got. Just look at my hand, you will see the oil stain on this particular one. So very well done, and the blend is pretty nice. Most importantly, the dry down is really good. Now this particular set of fragrances comes to you at about 899 rupees including shipping, and this is basically like experimenting a lot of Hindi houses to try and see if they have something nice, and sometimes you come up with absolute wonders, and that's been the case with these 2 fragrances for me. So Red Secret and Shalimar are 2 winners, and Shalimar is something that you should definitely consider if you like a fragrance which has got a very creamy sandalwood, chocolatey, light floral notes right at the top. The dry down, like I said, is absolutely beautiful, gorgeous dry down. You can definitely consider getting these 2 out of the 5 boxes, but definitely you can consider getting all of them in case you want to explore a discovery set. But in my opinion, these 2 are just wonderful fragrances to consider, right? So that has been my very quick review about this particular house called the Fragrance Hub Kannauj, and I'll share the number with you, and you can get in touch with them and try this discovery set for yourself. If you like this video, please hit the like button and subscribe, and watch out for more videos coming your way soon.